Welcome back to Cheddar, everyone. Personal Capital, a remote-first digital wealth manager, is teaming up with two-time NBA All-Star Baron Davis to unveil their Financial Heroes campaign. Coinciding with National Financial Planning Month in October, the campaign, it aims to bring awareness to the importance of having a solid financial plan to access resources, especially in times of crisis. Joining us now, the man himself, Baron Davis, two-time NBA All-Star and entrepreneur, otherwise known as B. Diddy. Great to have you here with us today. We gotta know. Tell us more about what the new Financial Heroes campaign is and what it means to be a financial hero.
I think, what it means to be a financial hero is a champion, right? Excuse me. Champion of light, champion of, information, be a resource. I think for what we're building, with our Heroes program is really highlighting the people that have been successful and thinking about their walk of life and how did they become successful. And then really thinking about, in the core, life of your business, what does that look like? But what also does retirement look like? What's life, after you've sat down and you work so long, what are your retirement plans? What are your goals? And I think for us is to really champion kind of, opportunities of information to give people and make them aware of those situations.
How are you using this partnership to really help teach others about financial literacy and financial empowerment, especially considering your unique position of having played in the NBA and the capital that gets attained during those playing years? We often see players have to strategize correctly to make that dollar stretch for a long period of time post-retirement.
Yeah, it's really about, really just preparation, right? And understanding that, money and finances are really about saving and security and, allowing yourself to, when your time is over, right? When you finish playing in the NBA, what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? And, for me, I think, learning that as I retire from the NBA and then being able to, kind of teach that now to younger entrepreneurs, younger professional basketball players. I think that's the beauty of, being in a position where you go through so much stuff that now you can pass on the knowledge. And so, with this program, just really trying to pass on knowledge and safeguard a lot of these young entrepreneurs and talented people who are making money now, try and help them roadmap a plan for success in retirement.
Certainly. 13 seasons in the NBA, retiring in 2012. When you got into business and entrepreneurship, let's be real, the number of athletes back then investing in some businesses and getting the type of fanfare and the type of coverage, it wasn't to the level that we're seeing right now, which also speaks to the amount of capital that is getting thrust into business startups and ventures by players at this point in time. When you look at the capitalism of today's current players, the activism in more areas than one of today's current players, what inspires you most about this new crop of NBA talent?
Just the fact that, they are hungry for information, right? They have these opportunities, they're going to school with a lot of these kids that are building, super cool companies. And so they have access and they're really pushing the limits and saying, we're more than just athletes. We have so many different things that we bring to the table, outside of just our sport. And, for me, the beauty of it is to really see them become more and more successful, right? It's not just about the LeBrons and the KDs, but, Anthony Tolliver, Jaylen Brown, all these different guys that are now starting to, invest in companies and help companies grow. I think that's the beauty of, kind of what I'm seeing with this young generation and even to the high school kids, understanding that they're a brand early is key. And you see a lot of these guys start to articulate who they are, what their brand are, what their brand is early in their career. And I think that is, what's going to propel them to be able to, connect with the right businesses to align themselves with, as they continue to grow in their career.
Just lastly, while we have you, and it's kind of a 2-for-1 here, we've seen players such as 49ers All-Pro cornerback Richard Sherman represent himself in negotiating deals. Players know their self-value, so much so that they're either willing to negotiate or do a Spencer Dinwiddie and say, you know what, I'm comfortable listing myself as an entity, being a structure that I know I have, the talent and the basketball knowledge, in a different sport there from Richard Sherman, but understanding the value so much so that you know how to monetize it. What is that next step for players? Is it saying, you know what, I want to sell shares in myself? And would you have done something like that in your playing years?
Absolutely. I think, back then it definitely wasn't welcomed or, highly questioned and not accepted. I think now, what Spencer Dinwiddie is doing and what you're going to see in the future is, a lot of players already know who they are and they're going to start treating themselves as their own ventures, right? And looking at, investors and investments and building out, their own, family office and cap tables, but being able to, have fans be along for their entire journey of their contract. So, I could totally see, Kickstarters for athletes or, what Spencer Dinwiddie is doing, kind of creating his contract on the blockchain, right, as a token. And so things like that are starting to become, more conversational, and I think they'll become popular in the years to come.
B. Diddy, Baron Davis, look, whatever you like to be called, just be calling me honored to have you here on the day.
Thanks,
Such a
man.
pleasure to speak with you. I watched your games growing up, 2-time NBA All-Star and entrepreneur. And don't let the glasses fool you. If you know somewhere in New York where I can get a couple shots up amid this pandemic safely, please let me know.
For sure.
Appreciate it.